I can draw and find area and perimeter of polygons on a coordinate plane. We're going to start by graphing these following points. You're going to graph them all on the same coordinate plane, but I'm going to go ahead and do it on 4 different ones just so you can see it more clearly. So I'm going to start with point A, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, and up 2. Now B, 1, 2, 3, and then on the y-axis 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to plot that point. Now I'm going to plot the point C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up 2. Now I have to label them. This was A. It's easier if you label as you go, but I didn't think about it. And then B and C. So to find the area of this one, it's not going to be too bad. It's a right triangle. I can just take half my base and multiply it by my height. I'm going to go ahead and do the base times the height and divide it by 2. So my base is 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my height is also 5 units. So I have 5 times 5 divided by 2. That's going to end up 25 divided by 2, which is 12.5. And I don't know what those units are, so I'm just going to call them square units. 12.5 square units. We're going to go ahead and go to the next slide and graph these points. We're going to start with the point E. So E is at negative 8, 8. So I'm going to go in the house 8, negative 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go ahead and put a point there. This is the point E. Now F is negative 2, so X negative 2, and then my Y is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be the point F. Finally, I have the point negative 7, 2. I'm going to go in the house 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up 2. 1, 2. This is my point G. Now when I connect these points, it's not going to be near as easy as it was last time. Last time I could just find the base times the height and divide by 2. This time my height is not a perpendicular line, so I have to be creative. I'm going to use some of the strategies I have from before, and I'm going to do that by making this into a square. Because we found out last time that a triangle is always half the base times the height. So if I make this a square, I can find my base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my base is 6, and my height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's also 6. Now this time I'm going to use the half the base times the height, because then I can take half the base, which is half of 6 is 3. So I have 3 times 6, which is going to be 18 units squared. And I just found the area of that one. It takes a little more creativity because you have to make the box around it so that you can figure out what half the base times the height is. Go ahead and erase that. If you need to go back and look at it again, go ahead and look at it again. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so we're gonna start with K. It's in the house negative 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now we're going to go negative on the y-axis, which is going to put us in this third quadrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's my point right here. This is K. And then we're going to go negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then down to 1, 2. This is the point L. Now I have M, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is M. And finally N, negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is N. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting shape, so now I'm going to connect the points. Now it's not a triangle, I could turn it into 2 triangles, and then I have something that I can work with. This one's going to be a lot more confusing though, because if I just draw this line straight up, I've got something weird going on here. So let's see if we can maybe divide this into, we could either divide it into several shapes, or we can pretend that it's 2 triangles by dividing it right here. So now I just have a triangle here, and I have another little triangle here. I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to create a box around them. So if I have this one right here, I'm going to create a box in green. And then on this one, I'm going to find half the base times the height. So my base is 3 and my height is 3. If I multiply those, that's 9. And then I'm going to divide that by 2 because that's my formula. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 units squared. That's just for this green part. I'm going to write this in here in case you can't see it very well. Now on this one, we have to do the same thing. This one I'm going to put a blue box around it though. I'm going to go ahead and make a perfect square this way. Now when I take half the base times the height, my base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want half of that. Half of my base is going to be 3, and my height is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I can just multiply the 3 times 4, which is going to be 12 units squared. And to find the whole thing, I'm going to have to add. So 12 units squared plus 4.5 units squared is going to be 16.5 units squared. Make sure that you have that one written down and know the process to solve it. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. If you have to look back and watch it again, you can watch it again. Finally, all these points. So we're going to start with P. It's at 1, negative 4. That's going to put us in the 4th quadrant. Q is at 5, negative 2. R is at 9, negative 4. I don't know what this is. S is going to be 7, negative 8. And finally, T is at 3, negative 8. We're going to connect these points. Ooh, we ended up with a pentagon. And we've talked about pentagons once before, but I can actually find this point in the middle and turn this into 5 triangles. Ooh, that didn't work out so well. You have to connect to the vertices, so it's going to have to go like that. Now all of these triangles are exactly the same, so if I just find the area of one of them, I'll be okay. And luckily this one right here, you can see the base very clearly, and you can also see the height very clearly. So I'm just going to do half the base, and since my base is 4, then I can do half the base, which is 2, and then the height is just 1, 2, 3. So when I multiply half the base times the height, I'm just multiplying 2 times 3. So it's going to be 6 units squared, but remember that was just for this triangle right here. So this is 6, this is 6, this is 6, this is 6, this is 6. That means my whole shape is 6 times 5, which is 30 units squared. And you have now seen how to find area on a coordinate grid. It's really no different than finding area off a coordinate grid, except that you have to start by counting your coordinates out. Go ahead and erase this one. If you need it, you can go back and look again. So hopefully, you now feel like you can draw and find the area and perimeter of polygons on a coordinate plane. We didn't talk a lot about perimeter, but you should be able to pretty much count the perimeter on most of them. If you can't, then you probably aren't going to be expected to find perimeter for now. So hopefully that helps you.